Good day. I'm the Reverend Ronald Nathan, and I'm the pastor of the Hogard AME Zion Church, which is located in Jackson in St. Michael on the island of Barbados. Welcome to our meditation, a psalm a day. And today's meditation comes from Psalms 116, 116. And my theme is Mama's Example. Mama's Example. King David, the writer of this psalm, asks a most pertinent question in verse 12. He says, "What shall I return to the Lord for all his goodness to me?" In his answer to this rhetorical question, he reveals the gift of gratitude. Tucked away in Holy Writ in this psalm is a little mentioned fact concerning David's mother. We know much about David's father, Jesse, but there is little about his mother. In the 16th verse of the psalm, David says, "Truly I am your servant, Lord. I serve you just as my mother did. You have freed me from my chains." Let me read that again. "Truly I am your servant, Lord. I serve you just as my mother did. You have freed me from my chains." I want to first salute the many women who serve God without notice, unnamed, and many times without any thanks. They are in the Bible, and they are in our society all around us every day. They are underpaid, overlooked, taken for granted, abused by tradition, culture, and practice to the status of second-class citizenship. All due to their divine design as receptacles of future generations. And therefore we need to pray for them. We need to come alongside and support our women folk. We need to make sure that they have all the rights necessary, all the rights given to men. It is in other historical literature that David's mother's name is given. Her name, according to Jewish tradition, is Netzevet. Netzevet. What we can surmise from this Psalm 116 and verse 12 is, first, that she served God and provided an example to her son David. Due to his prominent place in Jewish society, Jewish tradition tells us that Jesse, the father of David, was engaged in giving godly leadership to the nation and to what was called the Sanhedrin. Netzevet, in turn, David's mother, models leadership to her children. Again, we are able to recognize that many times parenting is given second place to other professional fields and employment. Here we have a mother stepping in and providing leadership skills and modeling something so genuine that David mentions it in this psalm. Also in Psalm 68 verse 16, we see an added factor to this woman's life. There David says in his prayer, "Save me, because I serve you just as my mother did." This shows the power of a consecrated life to God, that it can span the generational differences and the diversities of outlook of another generation. David learns to pray. He learns to place his future in the hand of God. He learns these things from his mother. Too many women are brought to a place where they doubt their abilities and their power of influence because of the prejudices and false superiority complexes of men in their lives. David had 7 brothers and 2 sisters. In this blended family, there seemed to be some measure of discrimination and partiality which marginalized David, left him among the sheep in dangerous country where the lion and the bear ran freely. In this time, he was so far out of sight and out of mind that Jesse had to be asked by Samuel the prophet if he didn't have another son. No wonder David would retort in Psalm 69 and verse 8, I am a foreigner to my own family, a stranger to my own mother's children. But even in such a circumstance, David was able to show gratitude to someone who believed in him and who patiently groomed him for rulership and success. This is the role of David's mother. This includes learning how to communicate with God and to wait for his opportunities to come. It was approximately 28 years in the making, but it came. David would be made king following the anointing that was on him and the prophecy that was made on his behalf. His mother saw the promise and potential within her son and continued to encourage him to learn as much as he can while he waits for the fulfillment of God's will in his life. We live in a time when female-headed homes are getting a bashing, and some sociologists point to them as a failure of family life. My take on this is, wherever you find yourself, utilize all your resources, including your faith, to shape the children within your sphere of influence and do the best that you can. David shares that a byproduct of this upbringing was that he was freed from chains. In other words, he's saying, I gained my liberation. I gained my freedom from the things that were holding me down, holding me back, holding me hostage, holding me self-bound, holding me from believing in myself, holding me from believing in my capabilities and believing in what my mother saw in me. Thank God for Mama's example. I return to the rhetorical question that David asked. What shall I return to the Lord for his goodness to me? The answer, among other actions listed in this psalm, is to have gratitude for his mother. He holds up his mother as a model of faith, patience, and parenting. For all God's goodness was evident even when David was bypassed, ridiculed, and despised. This is certainly a message here today for all those in a position to shape the next generation, be they female or male. God bless you.